Hey, hey, hey! Welcome, all you Grow Your Advocacy fans. This is Courageous Cause Champion Lady Friedrich. It's Monday, and Monday, you know that we focus on family and the self-care category of family. So today I was at the park. It's Monday, my Monday, Wednesday, Friday running routine. It was cold. Oh my gosh. It was high 50s. Oh, I have reached my threshold of pain, and I am not coming out here unless it's 65 or warmer. I made the best of it, but one of the things that I wanted to share today, a tip to share today with the universal family, actually two tips. The one from today is that when you're out and about, say you're walking, jogging, running, whatever, you're out at a park, and you make eye contact with someone who's going by or whatever, and you want to acknowledge that person, instead of the usual just like nod the head. I mean, sometimes the nod the head's okay, like hey, that means hey, the hey nod. Or you can like put up your hand and think to yourself hi, or you just say hi. Or but what I found today is that instead of just going hi and thinking hi in my head, I thought to myself, what if I thought to myself, how are you doing? Did you just hear like how that opened everything up? So even just the wave with it opens up your face. It opens up your facial expression. Even if you don't want to make conversation, or you're going by each other, like some of us are jogging like opposite each other, so at the park, so it's not like we have time for a conversation if I say, how are you doing? But just the act of like, putting the hand up with a little wave, but in your head you say, how you doing? How you doing? It changes your expression, opens it up instead of just, hi, hi. Hi is just, it's real restrictive. It's like, hi, hi. So try the how are you doing in your head. Oh, my volume was way down. I'm sorry. Try doing that in your head and see if that changes anything. The other tip I wanted to talk about today with family, this is big. This came up actually on Saturday when I was bike riding at Belle Isle. It was interesting because I had been thinking the day before about we had this terrible incident here in Royal Oak where this woman called the police because she reported that this man was acting suspicious, and was like, she was outside In Season Cafe, and I don't know the exact details, but my recollection of reading it was that she thought that she felt threatened by him. And he happened to be black-skinned, dark-skinned. And it all blew up because of the poor way that the Royal Oak police handled it, and the fact that this woman was being very racist when she made the call, in my opinion. Anyway, it got me thinking that, when we look at people and we look at their skin color as they pass us by, and we say, oh, that's a white person, or that's a Indian looking person, or that's a Mexican looking person, or that's a black skinned person or dark skinned person, that disconnects us from feeling that we are part of one big human family. So what I decided I would start doing is looking at people's faces more closely, no matter what their skin color was, and try and find different facial features that looked familiar, or just note the variations of people's facial features. I like the way that people's ears are shaped, or I have a cleft chin. You can't really see it because and anytime I notice someone anywhere out and about that has a cleft chin, I feel like we're instantly cousins, because I feel like somewhere back in the DNA we must have some link because of this cleft in our chin. So anyway, or start looking at like the shape of their mouth, or the shape of their nose, or the color of their eyes. And the reason I mentioned the eyes is the woman that I started biking with on Saturday is dark skinned. And I looked at her eyes, and she has beautiful hazel eyes, and I have hazel eyes too. So instantly I felt like she's a hazel-eyed cousin of mine. We have this connection. We have that similarity in our DNA. So start looking at people's faces instead of, I think, too often we look at people and we just say, oh, they look Middle Eastern or something. Why not just that's very dismissive. So why not look at their facial features and try and say like, wow, what does their hair look like? Or what are their, fingers look like? Like there's interesting, if you look at like the length of fingers and toes, and toe structure, not that you're necessarily going to see somebody's toes unless it's summertime and you're at an art fair and they're wearing sandals or whatever, but you could look at people's fingers and be like, wow, look at the length of their fingers, or in relation to each other, like which one's taller and which one's taller compared to the other ones, or like I said, like super easy things like the shape of someone's face, or does this person have, high cheekbones or low cheekbones, or is their face round, or is it, narrower, or just different things. I think you get my point. My point is start to see them as an individual and stop seeing them as this broad brush stroke of white person. Because I'm guessing that, people saw us riding around and they're like, oh, there's a white lady with a black lady. Well, why not just look closer at each of us and say like, wow, look at that one's got like a long ponytail, and she had like, she wasn't wearing a helmet, and she had this beautiful like blonde hair, short hair, and she told me it was a wig, but anyway, just beautiful. So like, here's a woman with blonde hair and a woman with a long ponytail, instead of saying like white woman, black woman, so try that next time. Start looking at the distinctiveness and the individuality of people, and then you may feel more comfortable doing the how you doing wave instead. That's it for today. Go find some cousins out in the world that you didn't know you had. Go find, see if you can recognize them. Namaste.